Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone back to the FPL Jedi Show. FPL Gameweek 1 is imminent. It's just around the corner and we are excited to be here. As always, my name is Hafiz and I am joined by my co-host Azmin. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. We've had the community shield, of course, a lot of fallout from that. But yeah, that makes it less about 4 days left. Let's not forget it's a Friday night deadline. So yep, don't forget, folks.
Yep, pretty excited. It's been much long waited, man. And here we are. Like for a few days more for our to tinker our team, finalize.
Yep, and most teams have wrapped up their preseason friendlies with the exception of, well, it's not really friendly. I think Brighton are gonna have the first leg of their Europe
Yep.
or Europe.
Conference
I'm
League.
not used to this
Conference
anymore.
League.
Yeah. So not this week, but right after. So those are some of the things that we need to get ready for and be prepared and be aware of.
Good that since you touch on that, I think we can touch on the at least the bird view in terms of the fixture will coming up.
Yep.
We will definitely touch a bit on when the next international break will be. It'll be a long one, and but I think we jump straight because, like we mentioned offline, we know the community shield lineup will kind of like dictate how our team will be, and pretty sure that we should look at that. Let's jump straight to that. So the Arsenal and City lineup that played yesterday night in Principality Stadium. We know pretty much the expected, at least for the Arsenal side. Raya starts in goal, White, Mosquera, Gabriel, and also Calafiori starts in defense. Bruno G actually make the debut for Arsenal. So no Rice in the first 11, but he come on in the second half. We then have Luis Kelly in midfield together with Bruno G, and then Madueke starts over Saka, Odegaard. We know about the new sign up, Zolis at the left flank, which replacing who went away to Besiktas. Trossard, yeah, the Belgian, and also Howard starts over Gyökeres. Okay, then for Man City, already did starts speculation that probably Ad-Nouri could start because already just returned to the side, but he did start Vardio, Ruben Diaz, Kusanov over Nunes on the right back, and then Anderson did starts with Kovacic in midfield. We know the latest news that Rodri has been accepted in terms of going to Barcelona, so that will be significant, and probably this could be the midfield lineup, or Gonzalez could come in over Kovacic, but we know Anderson will be the starting lineup in terms of Man City. Semenyo, Foden, Doku, and then Haaland up front. There's rumors that Haaland might not start for this game, but he actually did start for City. And then in the second half, we know that the masses of changes for both sides. But I think we might want to comment in the first starting lineup for Arsenal and Man City. Any surprises for you?
I guess not really. Rice was always expected that he wouldn't start, with his prolonged World Cup exertions. So now, we got White, Calafiori, Gabriel, and Mosquera as the current current back four in the absence of players like Saliba, and they acquitted themselves well. Well, kept a clean sheet against City, so can't get any better than that. And of course, you have all the goal scorers, Odegaard, as a Calafiori, and I think it was Havertz. Yeah, Havertz, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah. So, Okay, so clean sheet wise is great. Yeah, again, so the investment in the Arsenal defense is great. Then the question of who to invest from the attack, and obviously the new guy Solis replacing Trossard seems to have put his hand up immediately, and his price is quite cheap as well. Not
6.5.
Quite accessible as well. Havertz, of course, the problem again is the shadow of Gyökeres being there as well. Is Havertz going to keep that first choice place or not? Yeah, so that's always going to be a problem. And the thing is, with Bruno Guimaraes playing there, it does feel like his FPL prospects have diminished with Arsenal. Yeah, because let's face it, in Newcastle, he was dragging the team, kicking and screaming. Okay, Bruno G, he was really, really important there. But here, there are people who are of a similar level. So as a result, he doesn't have to be the one dragging. Well, at the moment, anyway. Yeah. So it looks like that how it's worked out is good. But Lewis Kelly did well as well. So surprisingly, I think there was rumors about him being transferred off as well, but I don't know if that's still going to be the case. He acquitted himself very well in the center of the park there. Gabriel didn't score, if that's to anyone's.
But most importantly, Gabriel Amascara played the whole 90 minutes, and Palafrio did score, but he was sub out in 60th minute for Hincapi. So I don't know whether that could make something to think of if, let's say, you're worried in terms of minutes, but we definitely want sure Palafrio will start for Arsenal.
I don't see anyone being daunted by Calafiori getting subbed out. Everyone's loves him at the moment, and his ownership is increasing as we speak.
Yeah, that's all I can say.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll touch on Zolis. I think his full name is Christios, is it? Zoli.
Christios.
He actually assists 2 goals. We touch on the top former. Probably a spoiler. He is actually the most returns into attacking for Arsenal during this preseason. So Zolis has definitely made his mark in this match. 2 assists, and there's a lot of demand for him. If you are not sure who will be from the Arsenal side, because you can see that Odegaard and Eze come in him. Havertz and Gyökeres probably will share minutes. Luis Kelly, you mentioned that. Bruno G with Rice. Madueke with Saka. Zolis played the whole 90 minutes. So that's interesting, man.
Yeah, but see, this is where the problem is, because the squad as a whole is stronger, and the subs coming in is also quite decent now. So it just makes it a bit more harder to pick up your Arsenal attack and then expect them for the minutes purposes. For example, I would say Saka is definitely still a big step up from Madueke, but because Madueke is still there, so Madueke will definitely go in. J110 thoughts on Bruno G at the start of FPL? No, you can't pick him up at the moment. It's just too risky, and not worth it to bring him in now. Yeah, so because let's face it, he's still new to the team, and if you notice in the substitute, Rice came in for Bruno G after 45 minutes. Of course, we still bear in mind that this is still just the Community Shield, but the fact that these are interchangeable does give a bit of concern as to, do you really want to invest? Yeah, so for Bruno G at the moment is a no-go unless I say him, unless for example, Odegaard gets injured and Bruno G gets pushed further forward. That's an option. But then you also have Eze there as well, who's supposed to be the light for Odegaard. I look at Eze also substituting in for Zolis as well. Yeah, of course, Zolis looks like he has locked up that space. Yeah, but let's see.
And Martinelli's situation also uncertain, right?
Didn't even see play. So he wasn't even in the squad. So let's see what happens there.
So Bruno G at 7 million. Okay, all right. 7 million. Okay. But like Azmin mentioned, Bruno G is, we are not sure, right? The very definitely minutes are are going to be shared between these players, Zumbamendi, Bruno G, Luis Kelly, right? So you can't be certain unless you want to go. You have like some sentimental value in terms of getting Bruno G because he played.
Yeah. Look,
Talisman for Newcastle, right?
Bruno G is a favorite of mine, but at the moment it's a bit too iffy to pick him.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, right?
Yeah.
And Odegaard price is 6.5 equal to Zolis. I'm not sure about Odegaard, but he definitely, Eze could come here at any time, right? And so I think that's the worry. Zolis is an interesting one. This is what the market is picking up in terms of getting Arsenal attackers in the form of Zolis. And they played Coventry, right, at the first match.
Yeah. The good thing is a low risk because at the moment, because Zolis is also only 6.5, and at the same time, so it's not that expensive to invest. And if he gets minutes, well, it doesn't feel so bad compared to someone like Havertz or Bruno G. Yeah, but Odegaard has suddenly become a bit of a more interesting.
Yep.
He's still the captain, right?
He should start most of the game. He could also be on penalty, right? Who knows? Saka not around. Havertz might says so it's still a possibility. Can we touch a bit on Man City side, mate?
Yeah, let's.
Because you know there are definitely a lot of interest in terms of Man City players, at least prior to the Community Shield match. Okay, the likes of Haaland, Foden, Semenyo, I think one of the things. Guardiola, one of your also pick for this one. After this game, pretty flat against Arsenal. Is it a worry, or you can still consider those City players?
It is a worry. I know how Semenyo is being hot, but then you go up against a quality team. Arsenal are a quality team, and then that's when you start to worry. Of course, once again, I stress that this is still the Community Shield, but reality is Manchester City have a new manager. Arsenal didn't. Arsenal have the same manager who knows most of the players. The only new player in that first 11 was Zolis, and he's already had enough time with him in pre-season, as we know. So now City, for me, the biggest problem that I can see is what you mentioned earlier, which is our Ballon d'Or holder, Rodri, going off, and which was quite inevitable because he also won the World Cup with Spain as well. So that City have just lost quite a bit of that passing ability and the ability to dictate play in the middle of the field. Anderson is great, Kovacic less so. Foden, we don't know, in and out. So now we don't know what his status is under Maresca. So I'm a bit worried. So this concern I had was when I first dumped Haaland 1.5 weeks back too, because I was really not sure in terms of the ability going forward, and I thought maybe at the most I'll pick up Semenyo, cheaper and more equally capable of those returns.
Semenyo played with the full 90 minutes, right?
Yeah, he played the full 90 minutes. So it's a tough one for City right now. And yes, I do have Guardiola. I'm trying to figure this out. They play Bournemouth first match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so especially for those of you who are bench boosting, so you want returns from all of your players. And City defenders don't look like they can yet. Yeah, until Maresca figures it out. I had Guardiola, but he may not be in my team anymore.
Well, one match should not but that result could definitely make us think if they say you want to invest a lot of Man City asset because it's under new manager, right? A new team.
Yeah, the biggest problem is simply because that if they were cheap, then fine. I don't mind risking. But Guardiola is at 5.5. It's not exactly cheap. So it's and I remember in Threads and Blue Sky, someone was questioning why isn't Donnarumma being considered? Well, I think we got the answer for that one yesterday. So It's. I mean,
5.5.
yeah, a bit scary.
Yeah. Let's take a quick look in terms of stats for that competition. These stats from Fantasy Football Scout member serial for sure. In terms of goal attempts, you mentioned about Semenyo. He actually has the top shots among all the players in that game. 3, 2 inside the box and 1 outside. But that is Semenyo from City. Others is 2 shots. Odegaard, Saka, even though sub in, then he managed to get that 2 shots. Calafiori, interesting one. He scored 1 goal from that 2 shot. He could easily get 2 goals if I remember right. The second shot doesn't find the back of the net. Foden and Haaland. So I think this is pretty much on the goal attempts. Semenyo still poses good threats. Assist potential, chances created for assist potential, Zolis is up there. He already produced 2 assists, right? So he actually had 1 more chance. Cherki, Doku, Grealish and Semenyo all from the Man City side. So Semenyo shot 3, 2 chances created. So probably there's something there in terms of no return, but at least those stats can give some limelight for the likes of Semenyo. And in terms of defensive contribution, Odegaard and White almost, White at least got that DC points, I suppose, because as a defender, you only need 10 DC. And for Odegaard, missed 1, but he could easily get another 1 DC and got the full 2 DC points. The rest, Zolis, Kusanov and Anderson. Anderson is one player that people are looking at potentially in Man City side. Maybe less chance of hitting that DC, but he's still not that far yet. He got that 8 DC. So Arsenal 2.16 XG, City slightly lower 1.12. What do you think about these stats?
I think it's strong for Arsenal, but the problem I have with Arsenal still remains in terms of the distribution of points. At the moment, everyone looks capable. So you really just, so if you do want to pick a player, you just have to jump in and hope for the best. In terms of who, yeah. No, I mean seriously, you got Odegaard there, you got Zolis there, and then Havertz as well. But how much do you have available to spend? So look at that. Odegaard, Saka who came in at 30, played only 34 minutes. He still got the same number of shots as Odegaard and Calafiori, 2 each in the box as well, 2 each. So I have to say Saka does not. It's hard to pick up Saka at this point in time.
Okay,
yeah.
Fair.
I think it's hard.
And you won't be spending that money for Madueke also because both are playing at the step. They will share minutes.
And Madueke is such a level lower than Saka, so he's nice to have, but not for FPL, unfortunately.
Odegaard, Madueke, Zolis price at the same 6.5.
Yeah, so obviously everyone's on the fresh face Zolis. But that's why Odegaard putting his name forward. So, hey, don't count me out. I'm still around, and I'm still gonna do well. And giving his Norway teammate Haaland, look, this is how you come back after the World Cup. you should take a leaf out of me. So Haaland, just to point out, Haaland also was subbed out early. I think at this time Maresca felt screw it.
Should we worry on Haaland? Are we second guessing whether Haaland going to start this game? I'm pretty sure he will start.
I think he will start, but so this is the thing, and I think it's something you, Hafiz, you probably familiar with when Maresca's time with Chelsea. He does play a lot of importance into the load time of players. Players getting subbed out to juggle to keep them fit. He does that a lot.
Okay.
So the reason that was one of the reasons why I took out Haaland for now is because unlike with Pep, where Haaland is like, go all the way, forget it. I'm fine. I'm not gonna. I don't have to worry about it. With Maresca, I feel that he's going to be a bit more pragmatic and manage those minutes a bit more, and that diminishes appeal. If Haaland was priced at 13, yeah, fine. But at 15.5, that minutes does play a role, and it makes me not want him. Yeah.
Right. Now. Okay. Great. Azmin feeling different from me, but most importantly that we both can agree that Haaland going to start. For Azmin mentioned, his minutes will be managed, and I know Maresca has that tendency because that's what happened during his Chelsea time. All right, man. Let's visit some other players in terms of pre-season performer because we are in the mode of finalizing our squad, right? So he pretty much probably the informed player during pre-season might matters into our thinking, but whether that can translate into FPL points is a different thing. I just want to find out. João Pedro is the hottest asset during the pre-season. He returned 9 attacking return, 7 goals and 2 assists. So he's up there in terms of on form lah. Okay, but we shall see how the Gameweek 1 will proceed. For Arsenal, Zolis, okay, we mentioned that this 1 goal and 6 assists count from yesterday match, Community Shield. Then after that, who else in here? Buendia from Aston Villa, 2 goals and 4 assists in pre-season, so 6 attacking return. But for Aston Villa, like we mentioned, a lot of players going out. So the new structure for Aston Villa, we're still not sure. But Buendia could be the key because Rodgers out, right? Then who else? There's a lot of going in and out. So Martinez also is looking at going out from Aston Villa, so there's a bit unsaid. Digny went to PSG, right? So there's a lot of changes happening there. For Bournemouth, Evan Nielsen, 3 goals, 2 assists. Can he be an option? The 6 million bracket is definitely an interesting one. There's a lot of option. Evan Nielsen shared 5 returns. You can see that DCL is same like Evan Nielsen, and then Semenyo, despite no goal, but he returned 5 assists during pre-season. And you can see from the stats yesterday, 3 shots, 2 chances created. So he can be pivotal for Man City, and probably his minutes are more certain because he played the whole 90 minutes. Then after that, 4 attacking returns, we can see there Igor Thiago. He also the talisman for Brentford, 3 goals, 1 assist. Barry, 3 goals, 1 assist also. Not sure about Matheus Franca. If anyone wants to go there, he got 4 goals, but that is Crystal Palace. And then Iwobi from Fulham. We have Leif Davis, who has been excellent, 4.0. Cheap defender for Ipswich, who played really well during this preseason for Ipswich under the new management, Gary O'Neill. From Manchester United side, Mbomo, 3 goals, 1 assist. Other than that, Igor Jesus, 4 goals. Has been excellent, at least at the early part of preseason. And then Tel with 1 goal and 3 assists. So this is if you want to mention, I think this is a no-brainer for João Pedro, who's on form, price at 7.5 million. And if you want to consider Zolis at second, probably he could be another option in midfield. I mean, what do you think in terms of this? Does this play into your mind, or this just stats improvement we can go?
No, definitely. I'm just laughing that you mentioned João Pedro is a no-brainer, yet I don't have him in my team. So I'm feeling really stuck at the moment. But definitely João Pedro looking really good. And let's not forget, because he didn't go to the World Cup, so he's rearing to go. Want to show Brazil what they've been missing. Next time, bring me. I can help you do better. So yeah, I mean, I can't deny that even though I don't have him in my team, he's definitely looking good at the moment. And I know preseason we can't really be too optimistic about how he does in preseason, but unlike some players, if you remember 2 seasons ago, Jacob Murphy was scoring goals like for fun in preseason. only for him to start the season and then he was in and out of the team. But I don't think that's going to happen with Joao Pedro. Definitely he's going to be the main guy in front. Who did Chelsea brought in Danny Welbeck. Clearly, it's not going to be the main guy. He's going to be there, or maybe for tactical games where he'll bring in. And even then, I think Pedro will still play together with Welbeck. Zolis is the hot guy of the preseason. I think there's only one other new guy in there, which is Matthias Franca. Everyone else has been around last season. Buendia, with Rodgers gone, Tielemans gone, it looks like he's going to be doing the set pieces as well. And there's also a question: is he going to take penalties? Because we know Watkins is rubbish at it, and Tielemans would have been the one taking. So maybe Buendia at 6.0. Of course, we got the Europe commitments as well to think about. Evan Nilsson, suddenly he looks attractive. Why? Because last season he was priced at 7 mil. So 7 mil was a bit of an obstacle. At 6 mil, he suddenly looks a lot more interesting. Yeah. So I don't know. Under Marco Rose, I think the current manager. So he seems to be returning. And the thing with Evan Nilsson, though, he's good but not great. So under the previous management, under Iraola, so it was a bit more distributed. Let's see if Marco Rose can bring him up. DCL is the other hot player for FPL because let's face it, takes penalties, cheap at 6.0. Team looks decent.
All I can say, DCL had destroyed me the later part after last season. So that's all.
Semenyo we talked about. Thiago, someone that's slightly overlooked, and I think one of the reasons is because everyone has a lot of people are very keen on Spurs, especially in the defense, and so they have a lot of players. A lot of managers have Kinski, so of course if you have Kinski, you don't want to have the striker playing against you in that first game, and that happens to be Igor Thiago, right? Yeah, so
I think Thiago has been overlooked. That's all I can say. He is we know
because he's one of the performers. He was one of the race. He was the challenger for the Golden Boot, wasn't he, last season before he tapered off. So, but at 8.0, of course, he's more expensive than last time. But I think under the same manager, not much. I think he'll do good as well. And I suspect that after this season, if he's still with Brentford, he'll probably start angling for a transfer, and to do that he needs to perform first. So there you go.
So if he can continue from last season, right?
If he can, so he needs to keep that. So the only other person I want to point is Igor Jesus. So under Glasner, I think there's a potential that he could really do well. Of course, there's no Anderson anymore, so there's part of the shaking out happening at Forest. So we'll see. But 6.0. A few 6.0 is there. Calvert-Lewin, the most popular one, and Igor Jesus and Evan Nilsson. But of course, Bournemouth's fixtures are not great looking at it now. Although I don't know. Now, against City, maybe Evan Nilsson can score. We saw what happened. But then
that could change.
But let's not forget it was Arsenal, though. The champions. So,
the reigning champion. Okay, let's take a look at at least for each position, who are the top owned by FPL managers. Probably that might also dictate how our team should be or not be. So we go to each position. Goalkeeper, probably not a surprise there. Raya is the most owned by managers, around 31%. Just want to point out, this is actually a few hours before we stream, so probably there's some changes in terms of those, but I do feel the top 5 is in here. Dubravka, I think not someone who actually gonna play, but there are already some pattern like double up in Kinski and Dubravka, because if they say Kinski, some rather start kan, Dubravka is the second player, and if let's say injured, so you're just investing like 8.5 million and getting sure in terms of Spurs goalkeeper. Then Lemons there, I think also popular at 5 million. in Manchester United side, and Verbruggen in 5th place, because we can see a lot of combo between Kinski and Verbruggen. And if you're thinking about bench boosting this game week 1, this is the common template that the manager is having. For probably we'll touch on in more depth in terms of bench boosting later. In terms of defender, will that be a surprise? Gabriel, despite price 8 million, he is the most owned. So that price doesn't deter managers to not picking him. The likes of us, or maybe you have him, but I don't have him, like Gabriel, but he is still the most owned. Then after that, follow up by Shaw from Manchester United, 4.5 million cheap. You don't want to invest a lot from United side. Don't want to invest to Lemons, Maguire. Shaw could be the one. He's second most owned. Oro, despite not playing thus far in pre-season, he is third most owned after coming back from the World Cup. And we have that Calafiori. Before this, Calafiori is not inside this list until he scored that goal. So before this, Mark Gehi and O'Reilly filling out that 4th and 5th spot in terms of most owned defender.
Okay.
But then Calafiori potong. So he's now at 4th place and continue to get new owner. So you can see the typo there. Calafiori should be Arsenal, not City, because I missed out on that one.
It's all right. No problem.
And in midfield, Bruno Fernandes is the most top owned. After that, followed by Soboslai from Liverpool. I think this is also common template. Probably can later mention whether Soboslai is the right midfield Liverpool players or it could be worse. And then we have Semenyo, and then Mbomo and Rogers, who scored a goal after he returned back from World Cup and then played that first game pre-season. He scored that 1 goal, and then probably that dictate in terms of getting into this top 5. And his price is still excellent, 7.5. You don't want to go João Pedro or Palmer, who cost 9.5 million. You can go Rogers. In terms of forward, I think this is the top 3. Haaland, João Pedro, and DCL. They are the most owned in forwards, followed by Thiago, and then Roy from Sunderland, who also priced the same. Like as been mentioned, DCL, Eva Dyson, Igor Jesus, they all share the same price bracket. Anyone that we should watch out?
With Calafiori, I watched some, I can't remember which YouTuber it was, but it had Holly Shan, one of the female YouTubers.
Yeah, Holly Shan.
She was saying how frustrated she was that she had Calafiori from the start, and now there's a horde is going to join her. But that's FPL. That's what it is. We go for the best thing that we see. So for firstly on the goalkeepers, that those in terms of fixtures, it's hard to go past those. The one to mention about the Dubravka Kinski combo, obviously those managers are not gonna use their bench boost. That's the strategy they have in mind. So they're gonna probably after a wild card, and then the bench boost comes into play. No real issues about the keeper. So it's just whether or not you're willing to invest 6.0 and just get Arsenal, get Raya. So if you are, then and looks like the good portion is willing to do that. So 30% of managers are willing to spend 6.0 on Raya. I don't know. Maybe one day we can check whether there's a Raya Gabriel combo as well. I don't know. Let's see. Ooh. So a lot of money there. So in terms of the defense, I think there's also been a bit of a hit in Gabriel. I think it was a bit higher, but I think maybe they moved to Calafiori instead. I don't know if that's the case. Shaw 4.5, Porro of course on the back of World Cup as well. Some of his things, and also O'Reilly, although I wouldn't be surprised if O'Reilly's ownership dropped even further after the Community Shield. So we'll see what happens there. Bruno, of course, despite missing 2 penalties in preseason, but I don't think that's going to affect people. I'm too worried. So Soboslai, to me, is quite a surprise to see Soboslai at second place. But I think partly, about Semenya and Mbeumo, but I think it's mostly down to the price. Okay, let's face it, those who have Bruno, Haaland, and or Gabriel, it's going to be hard for them to fork out. So, Soboslai looks decent, so I can see why they put it there. I wouldn't. Sorry. Rogers at 7.5. I'm surprised that he's right there. Because he's joining Chelsea, and Chelsea definitely, if you were to choose for Pedro, Rogers isn't exactly a great goal scorer either. Yeah, but he just pops out and score goals, but he's not, his stats aren't great in that concern. So that's a surprise to me. For forwards, so you have Haaland, Pedro, and Lewin, right? DCL, right?
Yeah.
So would you believe I have my current team is Thiago and Robbie. So we'll see. Well, we can look at my team later.
We are part of that to contribute to these stats.
Yeah, but that goes to show. Obviously, with Sunderland is also the good fixture at the start. Yeah, over player like Evan Nilsson. And in my case, when I pick up Robbie, the idea is that I am now looking at that bench boost as a serious option already because of the changes I made to my team. So Robbie is someone who, the first match, and after that, I'll probably tuck him in safely for the bench until I see whether. So I
don't know if someone can own Raya, Gabriel, Bruno, and Haaland. Can that be possible? I think the rest will be.
Yes, but you really down to your money. You have a lot of 4.5 defenders. And whether or not it's possible for you to bench boost with 4 of those players, I really doubt it. So
all right.
I do feel okay. So in terms of ownership, I do feel the forwards. I know I'm a Liverpool fan, but Isaac is not being there is I think he can really do well this season. It's just maybe, but the price point is a bit of a restriction, I guess, at 9. So especially if you got in Haaland and Bruno already expensive, so maybe that's why.
But I say it's still decent, owned by almost 15% managers. It just
so it's not too far.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So partly it's because of Newcastle. I guess we can touch on that later. But looking at the ownerships, there's no real surprises. A lot of it is also based on the preseason, and then some of it is based on pure how they did last year. Which, in the case of the most expensive players, Gabriel, Bruno, and Haaland, none of those 3 had any real solid preseasons to speak of. But but they are there on the basis of merit, and they deserve it.
So these are in terms of players ownership, since you've been mentioning about bench boost team and you're thinking of doing that, let's take a look at, because we have a draft team of BB for Gameweek 1 and Gameweek 2, because this is some potential that you could do it by predicting Gameweek 1 or Gameweek 2 fixture. So on the left side, actually, I took snap of Price team, bench boost team. Probably he already made some changes, but he's pretty much a few days back when he selected, and his thinking is actually to BB Gameweek 1. So he has Kinski and Verbruggen combo, because both are a great goalkeeper at 4.5 million anyway, especially Verbruggen has been proven from last year. Mosquera, the most nail at 5.5 million for Arsenal. Nico Williams, 5 million. They have Luke Shaw. Partner with 2 defender of Mohamed Tariq from Leeds United, if I'm right. And then Camvot, 5 million also from Crystal Palace, who has big potential in terms of hitting that DC points. In midfield, he has Liverpool midfielder combo main, so Bosley and Wirtz, and he has Bruno Fernandes and Pascal Gross, who has been a great enabler at 5.5 million. He could be on penalty 90 minutes man for Brighton. And then the same template, Haaland, DCL, and João Pedro up front. Is this team rating from Fantasy Football Hub, 89% and potentially hitting that 60 points predicted for this team. For the right side, if you're thinking, not sure lah, BB1 ni, is it sufficient? Because in Game Week 2, we have the enticing match between Coventry and Hull. And if you're predicting Coventry to get clean sheet, attacking return, and so on, that bench is really filled with Coventry players, with Thomas, Van Eert at 4 million and then Wright at 5.5 million. Even though I'm not sure how healthy in terms of Wright condition, but he could be an option. Kinski and Verbruggen, same. This is from Rich Club draft team, Fantasy Football Hub. Masquera, same. Guardiol, or someone that you've been talking, 5.5 million represent. He actually tripled on Man City. Probably he will change his mind after yesterday's game. Probably. Alan Semenyo and Guardiol and Shaw and Bruno Fernandes from United. He has Semenyo at 8.5 million. He doesn't own DCL because he actually opted for the Coventry forward. And Lefe from Sunderland, who also has been hot in the community, playing Ipswich at home, but Fulham in second game, which is still nice. And Pascal Gross at 5.5 million. 6 million and 5.5 million. Enabler to get in the likes of Semenyo, Guardiol, I suppose, and Bruno Fernandes. This is some draft PB, if you're thinking.
Yeah, pretty decent. I guess the Coventry players there, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So the thing with the Coventry players, I don't know that. Yeah, because that's for BB2. So because BB1
BB2.
Coventry play, Arsenal. So yeah. So
there will always be a risk for BB2, right? Because I'm not sure how the lineup will be because they're playing Arsenal. Then say they've been battered by Arsenal, then tiba-tiba Frank Lampard say, "Oh, I want to go a bit
make changes." Yeah.
So that can be.
Yeah, because and with Arsenal, they may adjust and play differently and have different personnel. Even it's quite possible. Coventry has spent a bit in the transfer window, but I don't know what Lampard's going to do. So there is that risk there. But anyway, you got Lefay, Gross there. Gross is in both teams, by the way. So Gross looking decent, and now with Minte out for long, for quite a bit, Gross looks even more attractive. I'm not Gomez. I think he may be injured as well. So that's something that supposedly he was seen limping down the tunnel or something. So just
need to monitor this Friday news.
Yeah. So I mean, personally, if I wanted to BB, I would probably just be I would BB in BB1.
Yeah.
I would want
Understand.
to have that risk. Although to be fair, it's risky. I think we talked about it last time where I said I wasn't going to BB. so now I am. Yeah, and I can't deny it. I can't deny that. It's just attractive to just get rid because I hate the BB. It's my least favorite chip. So get it out of the way so I don't have to plan for it. I don't like wildcarding with a BB in mind. It's not a thing I have. Yeah, but both teams have Verbruggen in there, so there's an idea that's a long-term thing. Actually, they both have Kinski there as well. So
that's the right combo they're looking at.
Yeah. What do you think of words, Hafiz?
I'm not too sure. That is the question I should ask, whether which one is the better one, Words or Soboslai. To me, Soboslai is cheaper at 0.5 million. I might be wrong. Soboslai should be the main set piece taker for Liverpool. I might be wrong, but he should also take corner and probably not on penalty because I said should get a penalty. That's my feeling.
Penalties on Isaac. Yeah.
Yeah, so I said, I've been transfer money so much, right? Takkan you tak bagi me penalty, man. I need goals to boost my confidence, right? So I think that will happen. I'll be surprised if Soboslai got the penalty, but they always chance, right?
Yeah. I mean, and of course, if Isaac's minutes continue to manage when he's off the field, you think Soboslai, who is capable of playing 90 minutes quite often, will probably step up and take those penalties. But yeah, we don't know. We don't know whether that's changed under the new manager. So that's
has Gakpo went off somewhere? Is it true?
Well, the idea is that Gakpo is going to Fulham, but it's not.
Okay.
It's not confirmed yet.
Confirmed yet, lah. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
okay.
So I don't know. It's a lot of
okay.
A lot of stories there, so we don't know.
Okay, but he's still in Liverpool, lah. Okay, all right.
Yeah, he's still in Liverpool. Yeah. So because I'm really keen at looking at words now.
Okay. Great.
Yeah. So yeah.
Last season 8.5 million, and people are saying that was excellent price. Saying 8.5 million. Now 7.5. Right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. I really tempting because just like just now we were talking about Evan Nelson dropping by 1 million. Yeah, Woods dropping by 1 million in Liverpool, and
under Iraila, who will know how he will set up.
He's just 0.5 more than Szoboszlai, and my concern with Szoboszlai is again, that I think he's playing a bit more deeper as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but we don't know. Yeah, so because even
everything
still. Yeah, Szoboszlai can. We saw him play at right back, but he can still get returns. To be fair,
can he play right back now? Anyone injured?
Look, the problem is our Liverpool defense is still not stable. Okay, so the thing with Szoboszlai, at least he's reliable. If he plays in the defense, he's not the best, but he's reliable.
I think Jacket did play last game for preseason.
Yeah, that guy. He's looking good. The fans seem to like him. I haven't watched much of the. I've seen highlights, so doesn't really tell you this full story. But it seems like he's. They were appreciating him there. So we'll see. So
BB1, I mean, okay, all right. You're favoring BB1, okay, fair.
Yeah, but different style of players, very different style of players, but that's normal.
Okay, my feeling, I think, I don't know whether this is right this year, because last season, I know, I'm so keen to just get rid that BB. This is the best time. Game week 1, you predict it and play, and then play your wildcard later, and then restructure your team and make it cheap in your sub lah. But this season, I don't know. I'm not thinking that BB yet. Probably I'm wrong because a lot of content creators also looking at doing BB team. But I'm not there. So it will be interesting if you're doing BB, so we can have like different paths.
So reverse roles from last season, right?
Yeah, which is great. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So now you BB, then we'll see how your path. I'm not BB, then how complicated I'm going to get into.
Let's see.
Right? All right. Okay, we're almost hitting that 1 hour mark. Let's go to game week 1 fixture. We want to delve in, and then we go to our team. Match week 1, we know Friday night deadline. Probably is it 3 p.m., 3 a.m. Malaysian time. Arsenal will face Coventry. And then we know a lot of tripling up for Arsenal. It could be you double defense, 1 Zolis. Triple defense. Also, I've seen my friend who said, apa you 2 Arsenal player je 3 lah terus. Wow. So how that can happen, man? Calafiori, Mosquera, Ben White, wow. All excellent money, right? So I haven't come to that thought, but this game will be changing if let's say you decide. Hafiz could be an option at 7.5 million if you hit João Pedro, right? So he can be excellent. And then on Saturday, early kickoff will be Hull against United. the promoter side, there's a lot of attention of if you are thinking of captaining Bruno Fernandes, this is the match, but he's playing away to Hull. And then you need to wait until Hull play on Sunday lah. Huh? Everton versus Palace. We have Ipswich play Sunderland, another promoted side playing at home. Come with Gary O'Neill. Now the new manager for Ipswich, but Sunderland, we know how stubborn they can be, and they can hurt. Forest under the new management, Glasner at home against Daniel Farke. We know Leeds United. Can Leeds United replicate from last season? We shall see. But we know this year has been looking great in pre-season. Brentford versus Spurs. This is the connection is Thomas Frank lah, but he's no longer in these two clubs. But Brentford and Spurs under Robert De Zerbi, it's a test for him after Spurs spending a lot of money in this transfer market. And then we have Sunday match, Brighton versus Villa. Both will be in Europe this season. City versus Bournemouth, interesting match. Haaland to be captain or not. And Newcastle and Liverpool, this is the prime match. Super Sunday for this game we want. Newcastle also, both under new management. It will be pretty excited to see this game because both teams will go gun blazing. And then we have on Monday night, Fulham versus Chelsea. Chelsea didn't involve any Europe competition. There will be more Monday night match for Chelsea. So I'm not sure whether I can wake up and see these matches. So man, match week 1.
Oh, wrap up with a London derby. Yeah, not the hottest of London derbies, but London derby nevertheless. Yeah, so everyone will. I can see the temptation to also triple up on Arsenal versus Coventry. Get it off on a good start. You go into the weekend feeling good.
Yeah,
so
man,
betul. So there is some psychologically as well. So yeah. The thing with Bruno Fernandes, that's the early kickoff. I did not notice until now. That's the Saturday early morning kickoff. I don't like that. That's not great.
Lunchtime, yeah.
Yeah, lunchtime. But of course, I've got I've got 3 players for Manchester United. I've tripled out on Manchester United already. So totally unexpected.
Later we'll see.
Yeah. So Ipswich, of course, the promoted teams, Ipswich versus Sunderland. Obviously, that's why people Lefay comes into play. Yeah, and Ipswich have quite a bit of injuries, or was that Hull? No, that was Hull.
Hull.
So there was a problem there. So United,
your player Dan Ballard. Don't forget Ballard.
Yeah, Ballard, but he's not as cheap now. So United versus Hull. And I think United play Ipswich the next match.
Yeah.
So there's definitely why there's makes sense to promoted teams back to back. What's not to like? United finished second last season. Third. So they're good. They're good. So you can see the novelty there. The Brentford Spurs could be a interesting match, to be honest.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got Thiago is always hot, but then you got a revamped Spurs under De Zerbi, bringing quality players. Yeah, and he seems to have spent quite well. He's brought in Ben Heck, for example.
Tonali, Fernandes.
Yeah, Tonali for that midfield. That's such a
free
big
transfer,
upgrade right? All of a sudden. So
Robertson, it's really new makeup.
Yeah, and Brighton Villa is also could be challenging. Got two teams in Europe, and that could be a tough one because Villa's lost quite a few of its key players. I just want to point out Manchester City Bournemouth. I just realized that's Semenyo's first game at home against his old team. Last season he only played against them away at Bournemouth. Okay, so this could be something for him. And of course the Newcastle, Liverpool, and Isaac. After injury-ridden season last season, I would expect him to burst this season, and hopefully it starts with tonight, this weekend And of course, the Fulham Chelsea, where everyone's Joao Pedros will be facing off.
Oh, Pedro, yes.
It does make me worry now that I look at, with Fulham Chelsea right at the end of it. If I have no players and I have to look at Pedro playing his game, that's between two former Liverpool players, by the way, Alonso versus Arbeloa.
Avoloa, okay, all right.
Yeah,
Interesting. I didn't realize that.
Arbeloa was a
But
fullback.
another connection. Both are previous Real Madrid manager, Alonso and Arbeloa, right?
That's right. Crazy. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out. Fulham look like they've bought based on what the manager wants.
Okay.
They brought in the Real Madrid player Gonzalo as well. Yeah, so I'm very interested to see Chelsea. So Chelsea, the problem with Chelsea remains they got a bloated squad. So we don't know they can keep that and remain. So we'll see.
All right. We take a look at fixture ticker before deciding our team or look at our team, because we know the fixture ticker will always matter when come to FPL planning. This is from the Fantasy Football Scout fixture ticker for the first 6 game week of the season. Who on top? Let me remind you again, Everton at the top because they're playing Crystal Palace and Bournemouth, but at the same time, they're facing Ipswich and Hull in the first 6, which is interesting at game week 5 and game week 6. United in second, Azmin they mentioned, Hull and Ipswich, the first 2 games. There's more reason why people want to triple up on United to take advantage of that Hull and Ipswich game. And then they have some decent matchup. Next will be Newcastle after Liverpool. They have some decent fixture. Hull and Coventry inside that first 6. But whether we are going to invest to Newcastle assets, that will be a question because Newcastle also a different team right now. No Bruno G and a lot of players. And Brentford at 4th, someone like Thiago could be on your radar if you're thinking about attacking side, or probably on the defense side also Brentford can produce. They played the likes of Spurs, Leeds, Sunderland, Bournemouth, some mixed bag I suppose. We have Arsenal playing Coventry the first match, really enticing fixture, but they do also have some excellent match. Sunderland, Leeds United instead, but Villa and Chelsea will be a fixture that Arsenal going to face. But they are the champion; they should be able to do it. In the bottom 3, at least, Azmin did point out about Bournemouth. We have Sunderland there. I was thinking about investing to Sunderland. I said, then when I see this, wow, they face Arsenal and City. But early day, you can Ipswich and Fulham, not bad. Then after that, you wildcard lah. If you're thinking of Sunderland, I said Bournemouth, City, Newcastle, Liverpool, and Chelsea in the first 6. Tough fixture there. And Coventry, only Hull in second game, a February 1. After that, they face the likes of Arsenal, City, Forest, Newcastle. It's going to be tough life for Lampard this early season. So, man, fixture ticker, which team or players that you are thinking? You're on mute?
Yeah, I'm just looking down there and see Leeds almost at the bottom there, but it's not stopping people from picking up Calvert-Lewin anyway. Yeah, but of course, again, that's the price factor. Yeah, and if you look at the matches, Forest, Brentford, Brighton, Newcastle, then Christopher, I think Arsenal's the one which is right at the end that weighs that down. So I think everyone at the bottom here is playing Arsenal or Manchester City at some point. Yeah. So, so you got Newcastle right there, but right near the top. But it's so hard to pick up anyone from there. With the state of the squad going on at the moment. So you have Everton, the top 3, which is Everton, Manchester United, and Newcastle. So Everton, there's no premium. So it's either you pick up India, or always a popular option if those who have a bit more money for KDH. And who else?
KDH.
Yeah, but who else? It's got favorable fixtures, but who else are you going to pick? You want to pick
unless
Barry?
you want to invest to Tarkowski. You want to invest 6 million?
In the defense. Yeah, but we got money elsewhere. It's tough. So Everton, it feels like that match you can wait a bit after the Spurs match and then pick them up, because then they play Ipswich and Hull. So that's and we don't have much. Confidence, I guess, with Everton. We don't know where it's going. So United, obviously the most popular in terms of fixtures wise, is up there, even though they play Manchester City. And now after the Community Shield, they're looking at it. Then that matchup doesn't look so bad at the moment either. So so United, Newcastle, and there's Brentford there. Brentford, who's not that popular aside from and Thiago, as you saw, is still high in the forwards, just not at the top. But other than Thiago, there isn't much else that you really be interested in picking. Of course, you got Sade and Dango Otara there as well. And KLP is no longer in my team, by the way. There's no point playing a midfielder who's playing at defense, but still disappointing there. Crystal Palace are near the top 5. Yeah, it's number 5. It's just that they play Manchester City in the second game, but after that, it's all good. So it's when you see in my play, I did pick out a Crystal Palace player. I just didn't want that one match to affect, because that's affect how I pick the team. Because I felt that one match, and when I look at someone who can score against any team, so it shouldn't be a problem regardless. So then you have they were at the bottom. They're going to be hotly picked regardless.
All right, let's go to our team, man, before we wrap up. What is our draft team so far? There definitely some changes. Mine probably settle most of it, but there's some 1 or 2 decisions I need to make for sure. This is my team. Actually, I should have 0.5 million in the bank, not 0.0 million. I'm not intending to activate any cheap so far. As you can see, I'm going to invest cheap in my sub, and all in the first 11. I have 2 double defense from Arsenal. I'm one of those who own Raya, but not Gabriel, Calafiori for now. Like we look at that now, people will jump into Calafiori because he actually got the goal against City, and he could actually continue to be good against Coventry, like you mentioned. So, but I'll make a decision whether I want to roll out to the most sexy pick Calafiori in terms of from that Arsenal side who are more attacking, or go boring like a 90-minute man like Masquerade, which people are looking at. Okay, so I think that will be a decision. Previously, I have Shaw at 4.5 million, but things can change, right? So I see, United pre-season they did lost 4-2 to AC Milan, to their ex-manager Ruben Amorim, but Maguire is actually on the score sheet, and we know his potential, right? And he could actually be the integral for United. Shaw should be okay at 4.5 million. I don't think, but Maguire probably a more safe and also more attacking, can give attacking output. So I invest at 5 million there, and then 4.5 million in the mode of Cardioglu from Brighton, and also Rodden at 4.5 million. They can rotate well in terms of home and away fixture. But I think that still a decision to make. There's a lot of 4.5 million excellent there. Everton top vertical, so I could go Mykolenko, 4.5 million. If let's say I trust on Brentford, I could go Edger or Pinnock. Crystal Palace, Mitchell at 4.5 million also can be an excellent pick. So I think I will need to decide at 4.5 million bracket, and then 4.0 million invest cheap for that defense, which is commentary defender. In midfield, I'll double up in United or triple up if they want to consider Maguire, Mbomo and Bruno Fernandes. Previously, I have Cunha, but Cunha sound rather like just return, is it? And Mbomo probably could be the one that going to play at top. Sesko are not there yet. So probably I'll take that advantage. See the first two, then three. If they say Mbomo not the right guy, I could easily downgrade to anyone. Or probably I could upgrade easier than going for cheaper one lah. Like Semenyo 8.5 million, right? Okay. So I have Soboslai and Bruno Fernandes, the template, and Gross as 5.5 million. We already touched on that. And the template up front, João Pedro, Haaland, and DCL. And Slater in my 4.5 million, who probably will be playing a lot of minutes for Hull. And Palmer, who probably won't play. Now, when I see the history line that he has a new goalkeeper who priced as 4.5 million. I think if you ask me now, probably 90% is there. Raya, one of Arsenal defense, probably Maguire will stay there. Mbomo, Bruno, Soboslai will stay there. João Pedro, Haaland, DCL will stay there. I think that's just a minor tweak before I finalize my team.
Just minor tweaks. Sounds good to me. So yeah, you got Cardioglio, who plays left back. I guess yeah, because you got two Brighton players there. So I guess the concern is because they have the Europa qualifier.
Yeah. I think you're right on that.
So there's a bit of a risk there, but yeah, I have two Brighton players as well. So that's something that we're gonna have to risk.
I think I won't double up. I think I will make some changes, especially with the Cardioglio to somewhere else. Probably.
Yeah, the rest because I hope you don't regret having Rodon on the bench there and he goes and scores a goal because he's been doing well in preseason.
Okay,
yeah,
fair.
So but yeah, it's a nil. But he's a centre back, but it's a back three, and he goes forward. He was going forward quite a bit in the preseason. So that's but having on the bench is always a good option anyway. It's just against Forest Glasner, and it's a question of returns. But other than that, your first 11 can't for anything. You went for Raya, probably the best keeper option there if you have the funds. Yeah. So,
but Azmin, I just want to point out, Azmin, you know me. I normally don't invest a lot of money in goalkeeper. I like 4.5 million keeper. You know that, right? So this season, I'm going to try a bit different. I've been mentioned about Raya is the best goalkeeper. So let me taste him. So I'll play him from the start. I don't plan to wildcard anytime soon. And he is the one to keep. So I just leave him there. We shall see. This season, I'm going to play differently in terms of that goalkeeper. Normally, I'll play that 4.5 million keeper. I won't invest a lot of money. But I'll give it a go this season. See how it goes.
Okay. So, I think that's all right.
Let's go to your team.
Right. So, my team is vastly different from Hafiz. Not surprised. For one thing, of course, I am going to bench boost. I did an update. I should have said chips BB. So I am planning to bench boost. So I got the two Brighton players are totally different for Hafiz. I got Verbruggen and De Kuyper instead. So De Kuyper, who I'm hoping that he will, continue with playing out of position in place of Minter, and he did well. Because if he's out of position, he can't be playing left back, which is your player, Cagliolo, who's playing in his position. So I'll have to look at the team news and see what happens there. I got Gabriel and Guardiol. So Guardiol is someone I have to admit I'm looking at options at the moment. Yeah, it does feel a bit iffy right now. So Sar is my ace in the hole. I feel that he's someone that's being under the radar, probably because his second game is against City. So I'm happy to have him in my team. And just since I was talking about Sal against Everton, I also have Everton against Palace, which is Dewsbury Hall at the moment. Yeah, Cunha is currently looking a bit iffy now. He's only played 90 minutes in preseason, 61.
We should expect Mbomo to start over Cunha, right? I think that decision.
No, Mbuemo will definitely start. It's just a question of whether Cunha will start with Mbuemo. So against AC Milan, he played 61 minutes. And before that, he played to 29 or something. So only about 90 minutes in total preseason. So definitely, I may look to change him. Wilson is someone that I like in the absence of not having DCL. So I have Wilson instead. And so let's see how that goes. Thiago and Isaac are my two strikers. So no Haaland, no Joao Pedro, no Calvert-Lewin. So which means my captain at the moment is Bruno Fernandes, although I'm not liking that Saturday early morning fixture at the moment. So since I'm BBing, let's start at the bench. I got Lemons as the Manchester United keeper. And, if I sell Cunha and buy in someone else, not a Manchester United player, I'm going to be tempted to also pick up a Manchester United defender in place of Guardiola. That might be an option. Then I've got the two Sunderland performers from pre-season, Hume, who has been impressing as out of position player, and I'm pretty happy to have him and bench him after, because this is the bench boost that we're talking about. Robbie, I just want make sure that I got starters, and I feel Hume and Robbie will start. And the last one is Pinnock, and that's a set piece thing. So I want him depending on the matchup. He's Bradford's set piece player has been quite decent, and Pinnock's the one who gets at the end of it. So that I guess one thing I have to ask you, is that the right bench boost? As in, like, the bench, is that correct, or should someone in the bench who is better in the first 11?
Oh, but it doesn't matter, right? Even
it doesn't matter, but it's just to measure the effectiveness of the bench boost. So you'd argue you would think the weakest players would be on the bench among.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's going to be tough whether Robbie over Sa or Wilson. I'm not.
Or even sure Lemons over Verbruggen. Should Lemons be in the first 11?
Yeah. You can say that. Probably that price bracket play into your mind. But at home against Villa, we know Brighton could easily keep a clean sheet, and if just Verbruggen should be the man who manning in terms of getting those clean sheets.
Yeah, I'm really looking down on Villa at the moment for some reason. So yeah, that's probably why. We both are, since you got Brighton players as well.
But you definitely done your homework. I'm not sure about how Wilson minutes will be, but I guess he's the signing, right? The new signing.
Look at it this way. He was actually supposed to go the season before, and I can't remember what happened, but the transfer collapse so tak jadi. Now he's gone, so he's memang dia dah wanting to go there. So we'll see if he does well. So Cunha is my case. I can tell you now that I'm looking at replacing Cunha with Florian Wirtz, from what I can see, because I like Liverpool. So if that happens, then maybe Guardiola goes down to Harry Maguire or Shaw. So because they have space for a United defender. And all this is possible, sponsored by Haaland funds. So that is my biggest risk of not having Haaland. That is my biggest risk of this week. So
Well, you like that kind of risk, right? So this is what Azmin made of. So that's why we can have different.
What dreams may come.
But I like that KDH pick, which can be and coincide with the fixture ticker. They are on top, right? So if you want an Everton asset,
yes,
probably he's the one at 6.5 million. And I think now we can justify why they're 6.5 million over the 6 million. He actually scored more FPL points. So there is logic behind that.
I'm not sure about. India's price stayed at 6.0. KDH went from 5 to 6.5. So it's very
Double
frustrating.
apa ni
I
kan.
hate it, but hey, you know.
Yep, I know. I'm not sure about Pinot minutes. If you're certain and okay, the rest should be okay. The one that people might not have is Gabriel, but like we mentioned, he's actually most owned defender. So if Gabriel return, you can see some of
That's the thing though. The Community Shield. No, right?
Sorry?
The Community Shield Arsenal's goals, none of them were set piece goals, right?
Yeah. You're correct.
So that's a.
And you can see there's no more like in front of the corner that people are so probably they are implementing new rules.
Oh, that's something I have to consider actually.
Because they already like strict on that rules when taking corners that you cannot grapple and so on. Probably, but I didn't see that in the Community Shield. Okay, I think that's all from us before we wrap up. Final word, because I think we plan to have Friday night deadline. Hopefully, we will do that. Right. First ever FPL Gameweek. We're going to run through all the team news.
Okay.
Okay. Until then, we shall meet again. Probably we still need to have a look at that preseason. I think there's some preseason matches will happen for the next few days, right? So keep in touch because that will make our decision.
Yeah, and of course, as always, if for Friday, team news. Yeah, try to get as much as you can find out.
All right. Thank you all for joining our FPL Jedi Show. Do hit the like button and subscribe to our FPL Jedi YouTube channel. And until then, see you again. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.